Hey everyone, welcome back to Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're magically unstable.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's do that one more time.
Or we can just keep that whole thing.
Oh my God, that made me lightheaded. Oh my God.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're
magically unstable.
All right, guys, welcome back. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week going? Nicole, how's your week?
Better.
Ayy.
It sounds better.
Yeah, my window has been open all day. It's been a brisk 25 degrees here now. So we're having a little heat wave. It's been great. Sorry to all the people out in Texas. I don't know if that's too soon, but we're having a little heat wave up here. Yeah, no, it's been fine.
Is it still snowing?
Hell no, it's not snowing. It's supposed to be 40 degrees next week, bitch.
Wow.
40 degrees.
I actually had a moment. I watched a TikTok of a woman walking through the snow, and like for a second, I was like, this is my first winter in my entire life without snow. And for just like a second, I pictured myself walking with like a hot coffee, like through fresh snow. And I missed it for a blink of an eye. And yeah, I'm back to not ever wanting to see snow again. So.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of TikToks of that girl's car iced over from the pipe that broke in the parking garage. And that made me want to say, fuck the snow even further. But no, I was able to go out in Crocs with no socks today.
Sport mode or not?
No sport mode even.
Four-wheel
I mean, there
drive.
was ice, so I was really risking it for the biscuit. But no, it's been fine. It's been a good week. My car hasn't broken down at all. Yeah. That's my week. Nick, how's your week? Okay.
I would just like to disclaimer this. We need to be careful of how quickly we make judgments of people on this podcast. Because the minute I make a judgment about someone vomiting in a place where they shouldn't, literally 2 podcasts ago, my whole therapy session, I spent 15 minutes talking about someone who vomited in a Disney sink. And literally a week later, I puke on myself whilst driving. Not car parked. My foot is on the gas pedal, hands are steering the vehicle, and I'm vomiting on myself. And I had nowhere else to vomit. So, said person who puked in the sink, I'm sorry. Sometimes you really can't control it. That was absolutely a terrible experience for me. Everyone right now, go grab a bag from underneath your sink, the plastic bag that holds 100 other plastic bags. Go grab one of them and put it in your car because you're going to need it one day. And the day I needed it, I had literally a Subway bag. You know how small they are?
Oh, no, they're not small. They're thin. You have a small line of trajectory,
right,
man.
Exactly. And that's what happened is I tried to puke in this tiny bag. And because it was so small, I missed and got it all over the sides. And it slipped out of my hand and fell in my lap and then spilled my vomit all in my lap. So that was the beginning of my week. And honestly, it's just gotten better.
Maybe we should fill in why you vomited.
Right.
Yes. So
it's not just karma.
No, it's not karma.
It's not voodoo.
No. I mean, someone very well could have hexed me or put a curse on me.
I was
literally.
Imagine one of our 25 listeners was the sink puke person and was like, I'm going to get this bitch back. She doesn't know.
I am so sorry, sink puke person. I totally meant it because your puke was the most disgusting puke I've ever seen in my life. I suffer from migraines, and when I mean migraine, I mean actual migraine. You can't see, you can't have any light, sound, nothing. You're out of commission for like 5 hours. And I got it while I was at work and had to drive home with blurred vision and extreme nausea. Because some people, when they have migraines, they puke because of the pain. It's just like a body response for some people. So, yeah, that was my week. So it's only getting better from there. So, Kurt, how was your week?
My week was good. It was productive. Got a lot of house nesting things done. Peter and I moved into our new place about 2 months ago now, and it's finally getting not winter in California anymore. So like average is like 70, like low 70s-ish, mid 70s is like a nice summer day. And the sun is moving enough where we're slightly getting sun on our balcony. So I was like, we need patio furniture ASAP so we can go outside and enjoy some space. So that's been that. Really researching patio furniture. Got some, assembled it, hung some lights. Gonna get some plants and a rug out there. Pretty nice.
Tell me you're 30 without telling me you're 30.
Literally. Tell me you're 30 in a pandemic when you can't go anywhere or do anything, and you've spent over $2,000 a month on rent for the past like 3 years because the housing market is astronomical for even a 1-bedroom apartment, and you don't have a balcony, and this is the first time that you have a balcony and you have your own space outside without telling me.
I was like, where the fuck is this going? I can't even remember.
Honestly, that's an accomplishment, though. Like, to be in your late 20s, because we're not 30 yet, and to have nice patio furniture. He sent us the photo of the couch, and it is very nice. Looks wonderful with the lights, and like all around good job. Like, good job.
Thanks. I mean, it took a good maybe 4 or 5 days of like constant searching for patio furniture. And you know what's ridiculous? Do you know how much patio furniture is? It's insane. It's insane.
Yes. Like, it's almost just as expensive as like inside furniture.
I was just going to say that. It's like the same price as a couch, like a normal couch.
See, you just got to Facebook Marketplace it. That's where I looked.
I tried.
No.
I tried.
No.
I looked.
No.
It sounds like you've been burnt before.
You guys were here when I got burned. You remember the pissy? I was so excited about having.
I remember the piss one.
Yes. So really, really quick. My parents lived in the Philippines for like 4 or 5 years, and they brought home with them like authentic rattan furniture. And when we moved from our childhood house, they sold all that shit. And I've been wanting furniture like this since I was a little one, and we found some on Marketplace, and we went to pick it up. And when we brought it back, we realized that clearly a dog had been pissing on this dresser for like at least 13 years.
I remember now. I was like, did I just like block that completely out? Because I was thinking of like a couch or something, or like a table. No. Dresser. I do remember the dresser. And then it started to rain. It rained on our way back.
So, yeah. It like warped it and everything. It was good. It was a good time. But for that being your only like real negative thing to happen with Marketplace.
Yeah. Well, Kurt, I'm glad that your furniture situation is, you have your balcony and it's looking fresh and fly.
Yeah, thanks. We're excited to eventually have some friends over. All right, Nick, how about you bring us around with some housekeeping?
Oh my gosh, I forget we do housekeeping first. That's right. Yay. So if this is your first time listening, housekeeping, what does that mean? It means where we catch you up on the latest Disney news. And let's start with Walt Disney World, which, remember how, once again, I think this was 2 weeks ago on this podcast, I was bitching how Disney does not update us with anything, especially with the 50th anniversary. I feel like this was my week to get like everything shoved in my face that I was like bitching about 2 weeks ago. So today, so unfortunately, when you hear this podcast, it will be week-old news. But today, I'm really excited to announce that Disney has released some information on their 50th anniversary celebration.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Yay!
So I know we were kind of speculating. We were like, are they going to start things like leading up to the celebration? After? Like, how long is it going to be? And they actually did put out solid dates, which like Disney does not do. Since the pandemic has hit, they never say like, we will definitely do something on this date. But for the anniversary, we now know that October 1st will be the official first day. So the actual 50th anniversary will be the first day that the celebration starts, and it's going to go for 18 months. So this celebration is going to go into 2022. Unfortunately, Disney has not announced any specific events that are happening, but they have announced other really exciting things, which like I'm never this excited about Disney news, and I usually have only bad things to say. So the fact that I'm really this excited is great. So the first thing announced, which I'm a total sucker for, is this Beacons of Magic makeover. This is what they're calling it, the Beacons of Magic. And I just sounded like Trump there. I sounded
Beacons
like
of
Trump.
Magic.
Of Magic, China.
If you can say it, Biden.
You can say Trump.
Hello, C.
Oh my God. Anyway, so there's a Beacons of Magic makeover. It's going to happen to all 4 parks, which I think is really cool and really unique.
Yeah.
Obviously, with like the Christmas layover, we know that all 4 parks like get the trees, but to have all 4 park icons, so that means Cindy's Castle, Tower of Terror, the Tree of Life, and Spaceship Earth are all going to have this Beacons of Magic makeover look happen to them. And just to kind of describe it, Disney did release concept art, and it's absolutely fucking beautiful. It makes them look super like luminescent. Like the castle looks like it's covered in pixie dust. The Tree of Life looks like it has like fireflies glittering all around it. The Tower of Terror is supposed to look like it's like shimmering and glittery. And it's all just like super glamorous and almost like celestial or what's the word I'm looking for? Ethereal. It looks very ethereal. And I also read that the Spaceship Earth layover is permanent. So they are going to add what it looks like from the concept art, like little sparkly lights on every point on Spaceship Earth. So how it looks like a big golf ball, like where all of the lines meet, it looks like they're going to add like shimmering lights. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it looked really beautiful. And that's super exciting if Spaceship Earth gets to keep this. It's already a really beautiful thing to see at night, you know, with that purple orangey lighting on it, pinkish orangey lighting, and just like adding that sparkle effect with that brand new fountain, I think is going to be gorgeous. The other thing that came with this announcement is obviously with like every big event, I guess Disney has like a branding. So we all know when like what was it called? Purple Potion, like, you know, those, what are those called? Like trends almost. There was like the coral, the Purple Potion, there's like the blue right now. I don't know. So this new branding is going to be called Iridescence.
Ooh.
With instead of the eye, it's literally the word like ear, like Mickey Mouse ears.
Shut the fuck up.
That's
yes.
so fun.
And I know. And it's really cute. They already released what Mickey and Minnie's outfits are going to look, what they're going to look like. And they're super cute. It's like this, like, it looks like almost like an opal-y silver, like literally iridescent, like dress that Minnie's wearing, and Mickey's got his full iridescent suit, which is really, really, really cute. And I just love this. I was kind of afraid that they were going to go, since they painted the castle pink and gold, that they were going to go like with a tacky gold theme. Now, gold is one of my favorite colors, but Disney has kind of taken gold to almost a tacky place. And I was afraid that they were going to do like pink and tacky gold for the 50th, but seriously, you have to look at this concept art in Mickey and Minnie's outfits. We definitely should post that on our Instagram so you guys can see, because it's like glamorous. And I'm like, okay, Disney, I see what you're doing. Yeah, that's the, I think, most exciting Disney news right now, other than park passes will be extended through 2021 and into 2022. So that is really interesting news, but not as exciting. So that's all I have, though. Let's see. Kurt, what's happening in Disneyland?
So Disneyland, there's not a whole lot going on at Disneyland. The one thing that I do have to say is the DCA festival that I talked about that's coming out like a couple weeks ago. I talked about it. The new ticketed event that they have announced. There's not a lot of whole information still, but they have released that it's going to be throughout the entire park. So they're going to have booths in Cars Land, in Pixar Pier, in Grizzly Peak. They're going to use the entire park of Disney California Adventure to have this festival. A lot of people are suspecting it's like a food and wine type festival. I know, Nick, you and I went to the food and wine festival last year. So they kind of used up that entire walkway and that whole like back garden area. I think they're going to do the same thing, but turn some of the quick service restaurants like they have in Cars into like festival booths. So I'm interested to see if they're going to have like food and wine food, or if they're going to have like Disney food.
That is really interesting that you had compared it to food and wine, because I have seen a couple of sources just call it food and wine. And I know that's not accurate. Well, it could be, but like Disneyland has not like officially released a name for this festival, right?
No, it's just a ticketed festival-like event.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see if they're going to have like festival food, or if they're gonna have like
Mickey cupcakes.
Yeah, like Mickey cupcakes, or like Mickey waffles, or like what the places normally sell. Mm-hmm. Like in Cars Land, they have like that cozy cone area. So yeah, that's happening. Like I said, there's no like dates or ticket prices or names, but I know that like in the past, you know, special ticketed events have been sold for like $110 to like $145. I don't know if that's going to be the price, but I know that that's like up around the prices that were the events in the past. They also haven't come out and said if the Legacy Pass holders are going to get any type of discount on the tickets, or if everybody's just going to have to pay whatever the price is, or if it's even going to have like a date price, you know, like if like a weekday is going to be less expensive than a weekend, or if it's only going to be on weekends, which I really hope it isn't, because I tried to go on President's Day so that I could film the video that came out this week, and we had to turn around. It was a 45-minute wait to even get into park at Downtown Disney. And then it was what was it? Later, they announced that it was like at capacity.
Jeez.
It was insane. That's
crazy.
Insane that morning. It was nuts. So, yeah, I really hope that they don't have it only on weekends, because that will be really kind of annoying.
Can I ask a question about that? So they announced, so we don't know the name. They announced that it's happening mid-March, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're purposely like not saying the name, not releasing the food, and not releasing the exact dates to try and make sure only locals can come, to make sure that people don't have enough time to plan like a flight, a hotel, all of that jazz, maybe to just like appease those people in the Southern California area to be like, hey guys, we're doing this, you know, so you guys can come?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make sense. And I feel like that would also be smart, because I think it was like a TikTok live, maybe. I like called somebody out that I follow on Instagram, for coming to downtown Disney when they live out of state. Like, why would, like, that's not a safe thing to do, to just come to go to Disney right now.
Yeah. Interesting. That's really cool news. I think that's, I mean, by now, this is our 4th episode. You guys know that we're not like huge advocates about like going out and doing stuff unless you have to, like us. Like, it's our job to go out and get paid to go to the parks and whatnot. But that might be like a little bit of a morale boost that like Disneyland people need right now, especially if they keep the capacity super low, which it's Disney. I know they won't, but I have high hopes.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, regardless, I'm excited to go. I'm excited to, be back in DCA. I'm excited to, hopefully, if the rumors are true, they open up Main Street. But yeah, I will keep you guys posted.
Cool. All right.
Nicole, what do you got?
Nicola.
I got something a little small, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, Disney released the live-action Cruella de Vil 2 days ago, the trailer and a couple posters. Yeah, Nick is finger gunning her head right now, and I feel the exact same. I don't know. I'm very hit or miss with the live action, so I'm like, meh. I probably won't watch it for like the next like 6 years.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Can we briefly talk about how everybody feels like that? I don't really have an opinion yet. I mean, I have some thoughts, but I don't have like a solid opinion of how I feel about the movie. So I would like to hear your guys' quick input on that.
Okay, my opinion. So here's like hate mail, foreverlandcitizens@gmail.com. Make sure.
Yeah, because Magically Unstable's taken, so I wasn't able to make that Gmail, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, not yet. So right now, just send it to our default email. We'll get a specific hate mail one. I personally, so you two know this because you're my best friends. Like, I don't like comedy unless it's The Office or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, I don't like comedy movies unless they're like real dumb, like purposely made to be dumb. But I don't think Emma Stone is funny, like in the slightest bit. And I know that they're going to try and bring that to this role. And my issue with that is Cruella is actually, I feel like she is the most evil villain that there is out of any villain. Cruella is literally killing puppies to make money. Every other villain you can think of has a reason. They've been like wronged. What the fuck do you want? What do you want? Nicole's hand is raised. What do you want?
I don't want to interrupt, so I just have a thought. But I'm already interrupting, so I'm just going to say it anyway. I mean, yes, Emma Stone is she's a comedy actor, but when I think of Emma Stone, I think of the movie The Help, where it's not really a comedy role. It's more, I don't know.
Correct. And
I don't know.
I would have gotten to that.
That's why I raised my hand.
But no, you're fine. No, your hand was warranted. I called on you. It was a warranted interruption.
Okay.
So let me kind of circle back to why, Nicole, I'm... Why are you laughing?
This interrupting thing is not working out for me. I don't know when to talk.
It's fine. So, no, this goes also with last week's episode of, I feel like Disney's going to try and redeem this villain where, like, she's a bad fucking person, and putting Emma Stone in the role, they're not going to want to tarnish her image of what she's done. She's done The Help. She's done these other like comedy, I'm sweet and innocent, but so funny. Like, and I feel like they're going to try and bring Cruella away from what she is, which she is the face of white capitalism, evil in America. Like, literally, she does the most unthinkable act that like would get you sent to hell to make money, and she is so like disregarded as a villain, and I feel like they're going to try and soften that. Maybe I shouldn't judge the movie. Maybe I should just watch it and shut my mouth. But like, even when they did the live action, was that Glenn Close that was Cruella?
Yep.
Like, they still kept that they kept that persona, that she was this like evil woman, like skinning puppies to make fur coats for people. And like, to me, that is the ultimate villain. And if they try and soften that, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think through all my head, all of the different villains, and like most of the villains are justified in these movies. Like if you think about it, if like all I think about is Ursula. Like Ariel's dumbass signed a contract. Like she deserved to get all that shit to her. Like she deserved that shit. Ursula, you know, but you think of Cruella, like she's just killing puppies to make coats. Like she's a fucking bitch. And with Emma Stone in that role, I'm like, I also just don't like Emma Stone. So maybe that's why and nothing wrong with her. She's beautiful. She's talented. It's not that she's untalented, like not talented. Like she's a very talented actress, but the movies she plays in are just typically not my favorite.
That's fair.
I guess I'm just not ready for that role to happen. And Nicole, you said it too, like the live action movies have kind of been like shit lately. So
Nicole, do you feel the same, or do you have anything else?
I don't know. I mean, I want to give it a chance because I do enjoy some of Emma Stone's work, and I get where you're saying where they're not going to want to tarnish her image, her name, but this could also be like a branching out moment for her. She knows what she signed on to. Disney, for some fucking reason, made a movie about killing puppies. So I'm curious as to, because Mulan was the last live action that they made, correct?
Yeah.
And they took that into, I don't want to say the word serious. It's a more like appropriated movie. So I'm curious as to, I don't think that they're going to try to soften,
I think,
Cruella.
Yeah. I think the thing that, like, I agree, I think, with both of your opinions. I think I also come from like the Emma Stone fan base. Like I love her work, and I think she's a very talented actress. And I'm excited to see her in this role. I think the issue I have is with the creative hands at Disney live action, where they're not really sticking to what they I don't want to say to what they should be, but like there's no clear path that the live action films have taken. Like a lot of them have been like a direct copy of the animated film.
Lion King.
Others have Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, like but others have been like a retelling and like a different one. So I feel like there's this story battle between a frame for frame remake and a retelling, which is why I feel like the people who like Lion King and Beauty and the Beast didn't like Mulan, because there's no Mushu, because there's no, like, they added, you know, culturally appropriate things and places, and it's just, I feel like Disney live action films are kind of doing this to themselves. But, you know, I was talking to Peter about it after we watched the trailer, and like Emma Stone looks like she does a great job because she's a very talented actress. But I feel like they crossed the line, at least in the trailer. I feel like trailers are a lot of out of context scenes. I feel like in the trailer and maybe in the film, they crossed that line between like, they're making a live action, but it's not really reality because she does this weird magic flame trick thing with a dress. And it's like, that's not what can really happen in real life. So it's
the trailer yet.
Is it? Oh yeah. And it's like, is it a live action remake? Because real people can't do, like, I don't understand, because like Cruella is a real person. She's not magic. So I don't really understand where that's going or where that's coming from. So that's why I'm a little turned off by it. I think in general, with Disney live action remakes, is that there's not like a concise storytelling path, which is irritating to me as a movie watcher.
I have a comment on that when your thought wraps up. Is it wrapped up?
I'm good. Yeah.
We're looking at you, girl.
Okay. I feel like now that you're saying that, though, Disney is using that, like Disney Creative, what the fuck ever, is using that to their advantage. Because if they make only like strict remakes of the animated movies, like they're either going to have like really displeased people and really happy people, and then these displeased people are just going to like fuck off and not come back, because why would they watch something that they're expecting is going to be, I mean, I'm not arguing for if it's right or wrong, but like with these spin-offs that are live action that are more appropriated, like those people who were going to fuck off to begin with might really enjoy that. And so they're just trying to keep the balance. I don't know. I think it's stupid, but here we are.
I feel like Disney's trying to like rewrite their wrongs
That
Which
from those animated films.
I mean,
going off of that, I guess a little bit rewrite. I've just been sitting here, and that actually makes me a little bit angry if they are turning Cruella into a magic character, because you're dehumanizing her then. You're turning her into something that people are evil. This actually happens in the United States. There is a whole business on skinning animals alive, like the mink business. This actually happens. There isn't sorcerers in America that do this. So I'm hoping it was just like an effect of, you know, like she's just a really wealthy woman that has like effects to make herself like look really great. But if you think about it, it's Disney like watering down what is the reality of life. This happens. You don't think that there are people out there that kill kittens and puppies, but there are. Maybe not to skin them alive, but
don't fuck with cats.
literally
So
about to say
yeah,
that. Tiger King.
it's like yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also feel like they will soften the character of Cruella. I feel like this will be very similar to the vein of the Maleficent films, where they're giving her a backstory, right? Because this film is taking place before the Glenn Close live actions, so it's all about like young Cruella and like what she's gone through to get to where she was as Glenn
But
Close.
like, I feel like you can't put a backstory behind somebody who like makes a living of skinning young or any age animals, I suppose. Like kidnapping.
They're probably going
and
to turn it on its
dogs.
head. Yeah, they're probably going to be like, oh, she wasn't skinning them. She was rescuing them. Like, knowing Disney, they'll probably pull some bullshit where like they show the outside perspective that she was actually running a rescue care.
Them. Wink.
And it's like, no.
You see a bloody stump hanging in the background.
Literally.
Gross.
Too much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I feel like because you know, we do take, and especially you, Nick, take the skinning of animals like very, very seriously. I mean, you too, Nicole, but Nick was a little pressed about it just now, like rightfully so.
Very pressed about it. Yes,
but I feel like there is no justification for that, and I feel like, from what you're saying, you're in the mindset of Disney might be trying to justify those actions with her story kind of leading up to that, which I agree that if that happens, it's like, is that the greatest thing you should be doing?
Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do. Of course, we will all watch it, you know, and form a better opinion. And maybe a 5-second trailer is maybe not the best thing to like base a whole opinion on a movie yet, but
yeah, we'll see you guys back with a review in about 53 weeks.
Yeah, well, when we've already forgotten about this podcast. So yeah, that was a good one. Nicole, your topics are always controversial. Always. Every single topic you've brought up has been.
You had Gina files for unemployment last week.
Okay, I'm just bringing the FDR legs to stir the pot with, okay?
Oh my God, that woman pressed. I did delete that TikTok.
Shit.
Yeah, I deleted that TikTok.
Well, cool. That was good. I feel like that was very constructive housekeeping.
Hell yeah.
It was. And you know, it showed growth in all of us because we were able to critique without being toxic. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I had a problem when I was younger. When I didn't like artists' work, I would just be like, they're terrible. Everything they do is terrible. They look at them. They're And I like just noticed personal growth there, that I can admit that Emma Stone is more talented than I will ever be, and her work is very great. It's just not work that I particularly enjoy. And I feel very proud of myself right now.
That's good. And that's okay. Everybody has an opinion. It's like pizza toppings.
Unless you're racist.
All right. I think that's a good spot to lead into the weekly video, but let's take a break first. Let's all use the bathroom quick, maybe get some water, and we'll be back.
All right, everyone, now that we're stopped, let's take a minute to shout out to our socials.
Since you've made it this far, maybe subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you're listening on right now.
You can also follow us over on Instagram and TikTok at Foreverland Fairy Tales.
And most importantly, if you want more Disney content, or if you want to listen to our podcast on YouTube, make sure you find us there. We're at Foreverland Fairy Tales, and just remember to subscribe.
All right, let's get back to the episode. Alrighty, welcome back. We are back.
Wow.
Let's jump right into this week's video.
Kurt, why don't you let us know about some of those good old updates at Downtown Disney? What's new? What's happening? What's going down at the West Coast?
Yeah, so this week we came out with a video of me walking around Buena Vista Street at Downtown Disney because we can finally eat and drink and kind of have somewhat normal activities in Buena Vista Street area. So I basically just walked down Buena Vista Street. I didn't go too much into the video in Downtown Disney because there's so much going on lately. I feel like having both places in one video is a little much. So I just did DCA Buena Vista Street. But a lot is open and it's really exciting. It's also kind of anxiety inducing. But at the end of the day, it's more exciting than not. A lot of places are open, especially to eat. The main restaurant, Carthay Circle, is open again for outdoor dining. Award Wieners down on Hollywood Boulevard is open. But I said this in the video and I'll say it again and I'll say it a million times to whoever wants to listen. Not worth it until they bring back film strip fries.
Okay. Look at Nicole. She's like, I don't know. You fucking talking
so
about.
Good. Do you remember we had them, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, because you were talking about them all day.
They're my favorite type of fries. They're so good.
Oh, yeah. No, remember the whole debacle with Peter mobile ordering while we were like waiting in line for Radiator Springs?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you got strangled by the seatbelt.
Literally strangled.
So good. They started selling specialty churros, which they did not have before it closed back in December. They only had normal churros.
Fluffernutter.
Yeah, they have a Fluffernutter churro. They have this like WandaVision pineapple chocolate Oreo crumble churro. I don't know. It sounds disgusting. They're selling popcorn. They're selling a lot of like typical Disney food. Mickey waffles. Wow. No, I just love them. Mickey pretzels, not waffles. Yeah, a lot is open. Smoked Jumpers Grill is open. They have the worst Impossible Burger I've ever had in my life. It's terrible. Like imagine an Impossible Burger, but as a cafeteria burger. It's so gross. It's not good.
Ewy.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good as a normal burger either. It's just gross.
Nicole, you fucking look like BTK. Do you know who that is?
You literally look like a Jeffrey Dahmer person.
She looks like a mix of Jeffrey Dahmer and Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, or the BTK. Anyway.
I'm going to take a picture of myself as you guys see me.
It's because you're still possessed from last week. Are you possessed
Mr.
by
Dahmer,
BTK?
I have some questions to ask. Yeah, which one? Can we interview with a serial killer on here?
Oh man, we'll post this on our Instagram. But yeah, so that's basically it. There's a lot of shopping. The one thing that I am super upset about still, and that's just because I'm me and addicted to coffee, is that Starbucks is still not open. It is open in Downtown Disney proper, the only one location, the location right by World of Disney. But Fiddler Pfeiffer Cafe is still not open for Starbucks.
Aww.
So that's upsetting to me.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, you know what? It's pretty cool that you can walk around the park. You can see Avengers Campus. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, there are still like the construction walls up. But they have, I kind of showed in the video, they have like ropes. You know, the ropes that they use for like rope drop, that are like those thin white ropes. They have those hanging in like the end of Buena Vista Street areas. So like you can no longer like walk further into the park. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool. Can I just wanted to clarify something really quick. So if y'all didn't know, we have a TikTok, kind of a big deal, like 24,000 followers. It's really not that big of a deal. But we do lives like twice a week. Kurt will usually do one. I'll do one or two. And the biggest question that people don't quite understand is obviously California, your legislature, Disneyland is like closed. It's not even like legal for Disneyland or DCA to be operating right now. And people, they see Kurt inside of DCA right next to the red car trolley, right next to award wieners. And they're like, what the hell? First, they'll ask if it's Disney World. And then
they'll ask if you're in Florida.
It never fails. But whenever Kurt is inside of DCA, people are like, that's DCA. Like, you're literally walking right next to Soarin'. I don't understand it with California's laws, or I don't know if it's technically a law, but with COVID, like they are not allowed to operate. So how the hell can you just explain it for someone who doesn't know anything about, California COVID procedures, how you're allowed to be in DCA right now with Disneyland technically being closed in the pandemic?
Sure. I mean, I'll do the best I can because I don't even fully understand it, because I feel like California's reopening map has been the most confusing map I've ever had to follow in my life. So I feel the biggest and easiest subject, I guess, that I think would answer that question would be that shopping and dining areas are able to operate. So Disney took that upon themselves to say, oh, okay, so we're going to open up downtown Disney because that's our shopping and dining district. And when the parks were not able to open in June, when they were originally planning on opening, or July, June or July, I don't remember anymore, this past summer. And when that happened, Disney was kind of thrown for a loop and was like, okay, well, we're still hemorrhaging money. So they decided to then extend downtown Disney down into Buena Vista Street. So when you walk into Buena Vista Street, when you walk into DCA, you're actually not going through the turnstiles. Like, you're not going through the park entrance. They have two gates that are open that if you've been to DCA before, they use them as the exits where you just walk out. Like, there's no ticket booths, there's no turnstiles. There's just gates that you just walk through. So they have one side open, the side that's closest to downtown Disney. One way is an entrance, one way is an exit. And they're saying that it's just an extension of downtown Disney.
So they pretty much operate based on a loophole by saying it's not DCA, it's an extension of downtown Disney.
Yes.
Nice. So there you go. If any of you people from TikTok are listening, which none of you are because I offended you by posting the clip earlier today, that's a great explanation of that. Because even I get confused of like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me that you're literally allowed to stand in a crowd of people next to Soarin', but you're not allowed to just enter the ride with socially distanced markers. So that explains it perfectly.
Yeah. So that's probably the best way that I can explain it, even though that's still probably a little confusing.
No, it's great.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm going to ask a question. My brain stopped working.
Open mic.
Hot mic.
So Nick, when was the last time you were at Disney Springs after hearing like the shit show that downtown Disney has been for the past year? Like, how does it compare just hearing about it?
Bitch.
I'm ready. Give me the tea. Serve it up.
Oh my God. So I fucking hate going to Disney Springs. And it sucks.
Heard.
Same.
It really sucks because Disney Springs is a fucking madhouse. Like, does not matter when you go. It's insane. And that is because Disney Springs is a mall. I don't care what anyone says. It's a fucking mall.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you've gone to a mall that it hasn't been insane? So when I visited Disneyland, Kurt and I did not, I would not say we really intensely went to downtown Disney, but I viewed it. And what I really like about Disneyland and downtown Disney is that downtown Disney is a part of Disneyland. It's a part of that experience. It's an extended experience. Where Disney Springs, it's like the other parks. You have to take a bus to get there, to go to a separate location. And I would say 10 years ago when Kurt and I went, it was very Disney oriented. Where Cirque du Soleil is now, I cannot remember what the fuck it was called. The electric tent or something. I don't know. But it was like a giant like Disney arcade that you could do. You could go there and do a shit ton of Disney activities. And then they had extra things around. But it wasn't this giant shopping center. Like there's a Sephora.
Now it's like you can go to Old Navy.
Yeah, it's a literal mall. And it really takes away the Disney magic. So when I go to just get like Dole Whip or go to World of Disney, it becomes a chore because it is so packed. It is so fucking packed there. Even with capacity, it's just like I fucking hate going. I fucking hate going to Disney Springs. So that's my hot take. So downtown Disney and Buena Vista Street, really exciting stuff happening.
Yeah, you can see all of that in a lot more detail in the actual video. So if you haven't yet, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, Foreverland Fairy Tales.
Yay. And does that mean we're already to therapy?
We're to therapy.
Let's have some therapy sessions.
Nicole, guess what?
Hell yeah.
It's your motherfucking week, bitch.
It's my motherfucking week.
Was that your guess? Hell yeah. That was a good guess.
Thank you. I got it right. Anyways.
What you want to talk about this week?
You know, I went and I looked at the list and I really want to talk about Dinosaur. I want to. I can't not talk about Dinosaur at this rate because it's fucking scary, bro.
So explain where it's at, what it entails. Give the listeners if they've never experienced it. Okay, so it is at Disneyland in Florida. I'm just kidding. It's at Walt Disney World in Florida. Sicily, 1970.
Yes.
Okay,
you
Rose.
guys watch The Golden Girls?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Nicole. Sorry.
It's in Animal Kingdom in Dinoland, USA. You walk through under the Brachiosaurus and you go by the alligators, and then you come face to face with the scary dinosaur. No, not the scary one, but like the one with the meteor behind it. It
the
sets
iguanodon.
It off. No, it's not the iguanodon. Yes, it is the iguanodon. Never mind. I'm thinking of the scary one.
Oh, the Carnotaurus.
The Carnotaurus. Couldn't think of the name of it. I'm like getting anxious. I don't know if you can see. You can't really see me because I'm like in my Dahmer pose.
No, your face is red. Your face is like
you've
pink.
definitely perked up.
So I get anxious walking through the Dinoland USA gates, like knowing that I'm gonna go get on Dinosaur. I've only ridden it like I think 4 times, but because the first time I rode it, I was like, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm fine. Like this shit is cool. Dinosaur's not cool. First of all, you're walking in and it's like a cool little dino museum. And like that didn't like me walking into this blind, cool, whatever. And we were with 4th X group member and he is a pussy about roller coasters. So I was like, this is going to be great. Like you're going to freak out and it's going to be cool. I ended up like on the floor of that ride, but you walk in and I'm going to get into it. Never mind. Just let me. My brain is working at 1,000 miles an hour right now. Okay.
It's okay, Nicole. We're not there right now.
I know. My hands are sweating.
The dinosaur is not here.
It's not even that.
I mean, it is very close to me, but it's not to you.
No, so it's just a chain of events. It wouldn't be so bad, I don't think, if it it's everything at once. So you're walking through and you go to this pre-show where this dude is explaining, I don't like doing things that get me in trouble. So that already, like, I know it's a fucking ride and I know that it's fucking fake, but like the dude being like, oh, we're going to do this. And his boss walks in and they're like, you're going to do what? I don't think that that's going to be a thing. And then she walks away and he goes, we're going to do it anyway. And that's already like, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, we didn't ask for this. We did not ask to go on this adventure.
We kind of did because we booked the fast pass.
I was like, you did by getting in line.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we didn't ask to break the rules. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes.
I asked to ride it. I didn't ask to almost get eaten by a fucking Carnotaurus. Thanks, man. But no, so I also, a big fear of mine is walking over sewer grates. Okay. The entire queue is sewer grates. Who in their right mind makes an entire stairs right to sewer grates with ropes, sewer grates that you have to walk until you sit your ass in the fucking Jeep that goes like this. Okay. So you buckle in.
You guys didn't see that, but it was very animated.
You just shake. If you ever fucking been on, go look it up. Look at it. You'll know what I'm talking about. You look like a fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in and you buckle. And I was like, cool. It's fine. It's cool. It's like a Jeep. You're getting in a fucking Jeep. Like, this is cool. And so we're buckled in. We're ready to go. And then the lights start flashing like you are in Space Mountain when you're getting ready to take off and the lights start flashing. You know, I don't do well with flashing lights, like strobe lights, but these are slower. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Alarms start blaring because you're fucking time traveling because you're fucking going to look for this goddamn iguanodon and you are finding every goddamn dinosaur except the goddamn iguanodon. You're driving through and you see like the cute one with the long neck. You see him munching on a leaf.
Sauropod.
Yep.
Luckily, this one's a vegetarian.
Yep. So you see those. You see the ones that go and like, cool. You're driving through. And then he starts like, okay, well, you have 60 seconds to get your fucking ass out of there. And it's dark. You're moving around a lot. He's starting to like really hammer down. Like it's your fucking goal to get back before you're drowned, eaten by a Carnotaurus. What the fuck ever. That right there where he starts yelling, we're not gonna, I'm sorry, sir. We're not gonna make it. And then the cherry on top, we get out of that ride and I'm like, I am never fucking sitting my ass in one of those chairs again. But now it's like, it's funny. If you haven't gone to Disney with me, if you haven't ridden that ride, I did it for Kurt when we went there because it's truly better than the ride itself to see me have a full-blown panic attack on that ride. I did get stuck on that ride once. It was the time before I rode it with Kurt. I got stuck on it right at underneath the Carnotaurus. So I'm like hyperventilating on the ground. I have stretched through my seatbelt and I'm on the ground and I'm like, this is never going to happen again, ever again. I think that ride should be gone. A meteor should just bye-bye.
It makes me a little sad because if you guys didn't know, Indiana Jones, it's the same like track. It's the same ride track, two different stories, and the Indiana Jones version of it is literally the best ride in all of Disney, both Disney World and Disneyland. And I'm so sad that you might not ever ride it because
I'll ride it. It's fine.
I will make her ride Indiana Jones.
It's so good.
If I've ridden Dinosaur multiple times after like a panic attack ensues,
that's fair.
My mind just goes
totally
blank.
Fair, Nicole. Your therapy session is valid. That ride is chaotic. As a person who was not bothered by it in my early 20s, now when I ride it, I get a little anxious. It's a lot going on. And because it's in pitch darkness and the only thing, they just have spotlights like on the dinosaurs. It is like dark light, strobe, dinosaur. But then
the dude yelling at you too, that like you're not like, I don't like being yelled at to begin with. And the fact that he's like, we're not going to make it. It doesn't do my heart well.
It gives me very like haunted house vibes.
Yeah,
like
I
haunted house energy
too. Except I've learned that I just turn into a comedian when I go to haunted houses. I am scared shitless and my brain just goes, be funny.
I get really weird and I'm not going. This is not the right place because I get like almost sexual at haunted houses.
All right, great therapy session, Nicole.
So I'm all sweaty and jazzed up now. So I look like Jeffrey Dahmer after he had lunch.
You really look like Jeffrey Dahmer now.
Nicole.
Are you referring to young men that he ate and kept in his fridge? Is that what you're referring to? That's pretty fucked up, Nicole. What's more fucked up, though, that we know that?
Yeah.
Hey, he's a Wisconsin. He was not born in Wisconsin, but he did end up.
Okay, the only reason that I made that comment was because I look more frazzled now. Wouldn't you look more frazzled after you ate a full-grown human?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would. I'd absolutely. I could go into so many things about Jeffrey Dahmer, but I'm just going to stop myself.
I think it's a good spot to let some listeners know how we cope in certain situations. So I think it's Nick's turn.
Yes, which this actually might be a little bit of a more difficult one. So I am going to put a trigger warning on it because it is pretty triggering, even for you guys. Like, I know that we have this podcast and we like to talk back and forth, but like if body dysmorphia or like eating disorders are too much, like totally it's fine if you dip out. So if that's something that you have a hard time, you don't want to hear about it, I would skip. This is the end of the podcast. So
Nicole and I just visually dipped out of frame.
All right, podcast is over. Just kidding.
So I am going to get into the topic of eating in the park. And specifically, I have noticed it's been a huge trigger for me is having a mask on and then eating and taking that mask off and feeling like very exposed in public. So let's get into it. Yes, so a big trigger for me is eating in front of people. Always has been. I've always felt guilt for eating in front of people. I've always felt like I couldn't eat as much as my body needed in front of people. And now when you have the safety of a mask covering your face, having to take that off to eat has just like tripled my anxiety and my fears with eating around people. So how do I cope with that? Well, all three of us all kind of have issues in our own way with body dysmorphia and eating. And Kurt, I know you feel this one as much as I do, but being in the park alone and having to eat. So it's typically not our choice to eat in the parks. Typically, if we're enjoying, I wouldn't say enjoying, but having food in the park, it's for a vlog experience or a review on something. And my anxiety is so bad in the park eating. So here's some coping. First of all, I think we all need to hear this. No food is bad. And any food you're putting in your body, it's to nourish it and to treat it well and to, keep yourself alive. So that alone, like, just remember food is not a bad thing. So especially when we are in the parks, you're sweating all day, you're walking all day. And we all know that typically if you're by yourself or with a group of people, you're not always able to pack something that you're comfortable eating. So just keep in mind, along with that first statement I made, You're out there, your body needs to be replenished with nutrients. You are putting your body through a lot, especially in Florida and California. It's super hot. You're going to be sweating. You're going to be, you need something to keep yourself healthy and nourished. So that is just kind of a preface of you deserve to eat no matter where you're at, even if it's going to be theme park food, even if it's a granola bar you packed in your bag. Your body deserves food and you deserve food no matter how you feel about yourself. So with that being said, here are some little tips and tricks that I've kind of taught myself. My biggest thing is planning. It helps me like no one's business. So when I know I have to eat in the park and be in the public and have people watch me eating, especially when you're filming yourself, everyone wants to know what you're doing and you have a lot of eyes on you while you're filming, is to plan where you're going to eat. That is, I know a lot of people, the first thing that they do is they look for a booth and what they want to eat. The first thing I do is look for a place where I feel safe to eat, where I feel like I am sheltered in some way, I am away from the crowd, and where I feel like I will have a little peace of mind while I am eating my food. So I'm sure we could do a whole YouTube video on places to go if you have anxiety. We've talked about it in the past. There are places in every single park. I could name like 3 of them in Magic Kingdom right now are my go-to places when I eat in the park to just be away from people. So make sure you plan where you're going to eat first. That's like so important to make you feel comfortable while you're eating. I think the second thing is eating in the park, especially when you have to remove that mask, you almost put yourself in a role. You feel like you are an actor on a stage, that everyone notices that you have to remove your mask. Everyone notices that you're about to eat. And even I think Kurt and I need to remember this as we're filming. Not as many people are watching you as you think. You think the world is watching you while you're eating, and they're not. It's just something that is really hard to tell your brain, but it is true. You are just an image in someone's day. They're not going to think about the way you took a bite of that piece of food that you're eating, and they're not going to think about it later. They're not going to think about the faces you make. They're not going to think about your body later. You are a second in their brain as they're walking by. So just remember that when you're eating. I would say the last thing is just planning your meals ahead. If you have a group of people and they're your close friends and they know that you have these issues, or I shouldn't even say issues, but they know that you battle with this, they're not going to shame you if you need to plan your meals ahead. Before I do any big eating video like the festivals, I will plan everything that I eat. So I know what kind of foods I'm going to be putting in my mouth. I know what kind of foods I'm going to have to be reviewing. And it helps me quite a bit. Obviously, we all know that it doesn't make the problem go away. It doesn't make it easier, even if you do all of these things. I have anxiety episodes almost any time I eat in the park for a video specifically. So just know these are just little things. Specifically finding that place that makes you feel safe, I think, is the most important thing. But I'll just say it again. Just know that I understand it's really hard sometimes if you're with a bunch of friends and everyone wants a Mickey bar or everyone wants a cupcake and you feel like you're pressured to eat this food that you may think is a guilty food or a bad food, but I try and tell myself no matter what food it still is nourishing my body. Even if it's that horrible Mickey cupcake, it is still giving my body energy and helping my body stay healthy and stay me. So don't punish yourself if you have to eat in. Why am I getting teary right now? I'm like about to cry. Ooh, such a baby. But don't punish yourself for having to eat, because we're all human and we all have to do it. So that is my coping session.
Yeah, I think you brought up some really great points. Me specifically, I know that every single person's different and is you said, you have different avenues that you can take to help mitigate how you handle those feelings. And I think, like I was saying, for me personally, I absolutely suffer from body dysmorphia, have for a long time and probably will for a long time. And I think something that is really important to me is something you said, is that just trying to find a spot where I can be like hidden. I was eating a churro like off by myself. Not a single person was around me. Those are just things that I do. And I will walk 5 minutes before I eat something to get to those places. So I think that that's something that's super helpful for me. And I think could be helpful for a lot of people who may not even realize that it's something that could help them. I didn't realize that I had body dysmorphia until about earlier this year. And I think that's super, super helpful for myself and for everybody who's listening, because I feel like there's a lot of undiagnosed food-related mental issues, I guess I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it was really good. I think it was very, very helpful and informative.
And Kurt, like, just you saying that right there, just reminded me of like other little things, like know your triggers. Know if you know that one specific thing will trigger you and you're with a group of people, if you trust them and you feel safe, share your triggers. If you know that a certain food or a certain time of day or a certain action is going to trigger your body dysmorphia and you trust the people you're with, just share it with them. I know if I told you guys like, hey, you guys, like this certain food, like I can't, it fucks me up. You guys would be like, let's not even eat at a restaurant that has that food. Like, I know we'd all be dicks to each other, but like when it comes down to actually like this important stuff, just make sure you're with people you trust. And the other thing is Kurt actually brought up a big thing that people with body dysmorphia do. And just know it is not a healthy thought to tell yourself that I have to walk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is what I do in the parks, Kurt. I'll be like, oh, I was in Magic Kingdom today. I walked 3 miles today. I can eat. I can spare to eat this cupcake for this video. Like, just know, like, you don't have to do those exchanges. If it makes you feel better, I guess, do it. But if you're just a person and you want to enjoy that venti frappuccino with that cupcake, with that Mickey pretzel, with that Mickey bar, and you've gotten yourself like hyped up to do it and you're excited, like just fucking do it. And you know what? If you take 4 steps in Disney, who gives a shit? Because that food makes you happy and it makes you healthy and it makes you you. And fuck body dysmorphia.
Nicole, is there any way that you cope with any type of eating in the park?
I mean, not really, because I'm not in the parks often. I mean, when I'm in the parks, I turn it off. I indulge because I have like a checklist of just shit that I want to eat.
Yeah, that's fair. Same.
So I will like go out of my way to make sure that I eat that. But I also really do struggle with diet culture. And like, I'll be like, all right, it's time to go work out when I get home. And yeah, no, I am a big binge eating victim. That's why I smiled and Nick laughed because Kurt, you mentioned binge eating and I went, because that's my big feat is I don't do it in the parks. It's more so when I get home because I'm a food restrictor. I'll be like, Starbucks is a big one for me. I'll be like, okay, no, we're not going to get Starbucks this month. And sometimes it works and it's just like, okay, cool. We're in that mindset. We're just not going to do it. And then the other part of me, like today, I said that I wasn't going to get Starbucks this week and I've gotten it every day this week, but I'm also like shifting into that mindset where it's like, fuck it makes me happy, I'm gonna do it. But yeah, once I get into that thought process of like, I can't do it this month. Like, I'm just not going to. I can't do it. I'm putting that restriction on myself. I literally don't stop thinking about it. And like, I can see how that would be really hard being in Disney or like a public setting, because I struggle with it like when I'm by myself.
With food.
So,
food is a big thing. I think across all mental illnesses, food is just like a roadblock that we all need to, Another thing really quick is if you don't have these if you don't have an issue with body dysmorphia or an eating disorder, or anybody for that matter, do not fucking comment on what people are eating or the way they're eating it. Fuck you if you do that. It's not your business. Unless like someone is purposely like doing something to like eat annoying. Like sometimes we'll like chomp food in each other's faces, and like that's different. But I will never forget one time me and Nicole were at a dessert party with someone else, and she was eating because it was an all-you-can-eat fucking dessert party, and that's what you do. And she was eating cheese, and this one member would be like, I can't believe you're eating that much. I can't believe you put that much food in your mouth. And I don't know if Nicole was triggered, but I was. And I was like, oh, okay, even though we're at this all-you-can-eat dessert party, I need to stop eating because this person is noticing how much food someone is eating.
You know, I had so much spite for this person, though, that I think my fat ass went and got another plate of cheese cubes. And I'm from Wisconsin. Yeah, did I have shit blockage later? Absolutely. Did I do that to myself? Yeah. But that was out of spite. That didn't trigger me, but that was out of spite. I mean, it did a little bit, but I was like, I'm going to go eat more cheese.
You did. You got a full plate of cheese.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. That is where the binge happened, because did I eat the entire plate of Colby Jack cheese cubes? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great coping session, Nick. I think that was nice. I think that was super helpful. Like I said a million times, I think it was super helpful for us to hear and for anybody who's listening to hear.
Yeah. Just know you're beautiful. Your body is beautiful. No matter what you're wearing, what you're eating, your body is worth it and here to stay with you forever. And just remember that. Be kind to yourself. Yeah, your body is a wonderland, unless you're. Never mind.
Hey,
unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer's victims and Nicole's
unless you're Nicole's
fridge.
Victims.
I don't have any bodies in my fridge.
All right. Overall, I think that was really good. I'm glad that conversation got brought up. It's a conversation I didn't know that I needed to have. So that was good. That was great.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Always love digging up trauma. Yeah. No, love digging up the trauma.
So hopefully...
I didn't realize I had it either. So
hopefully that was able to help some of you guys like it was able to help us. Some ways that we cope.
Yay. Yay.
All right, guys. I think it's going to wrap up this episode. So thank you so much for listening.
Yay. And we'll see what serial killer Nicole shows up next week. Maybe we should all do that and guess the serial killer.
Yeah, send in your guesses to foreverlandcitizens@gmail.com.
It's honestly probably going to be Dahmer again.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next week.
Have a magical week,
Bye.
people.
Bye.
Bye.